go. Coming back to green at Martinsville.
9 laps remaining. Points leader John McKennedy leads the race in car 79. Back up to full speed in turn 1 with Jimmy Blewett outside.
Jimmy Blewett got a great start on the outside of that number 7 machine. They're side by side up the back straightaway. Oh, contact, hang on!
And McKennedy, the championship contender, spins to the inside as Kyle Bonsignore leaped over his front wheel. Blewett is involved. Many cars at the back are involved, and McKennedy spins that car right around. There's heavy Nerf bar damage. There's probably some front suspension damage as there was a car riding on top of his left front wheel briefly, but everybody fighting for the race win may have taken a toll on the championship hopes of John McKennedy. Lap 193, we are working as the caution flag is out again, and an incident at the very front of the pack changes the complexion of the race and the season. Dean, this is a shocking development with 7 laps to go.
We knew it was going to be crazy. I didn't know it was going to be that crazy.
I really thought that with a championship on the line that the drivers would be much more careful than what we just saw. There we see Kyle Bonsignore, who was vaulted in the air over the front wheel of McKennedy, who was at the time the race leader. He's headed down pit lane, and now LaJoie and Hirschman are the 2 cars lined up directly behind the pace car with Ryan Newman and Eric Goodale, the remaining championship contender, restarting from 4th spot. Goodale needed 13 points to claim his first career championship in the NASCAR Wheel and Modified Tour. Coming into this race, he's the red and white car that slips through this incident, but here we see contact at the front of the field. McKennedy in the 79, and it looks like it was the 53 of LaJoie who may have gotten into him as the 7 of Blewett spun. He got hit by Beers. Now let's watch from this angle and see if it was contact with, it was indeed LaJoie. LaJoie turned into the right rear of McKennedy, which turned him into the 7 of Blewett. And again, the red and white 58 of Goodale skates through all of this as a championship contender. Look at Kyle Bonsignore sailing in the air over that left front of McKennedy. McKennedy obviously will not make a pit stop regardless of what he thinks might be wrong with that car. He's got to maintain the track position and maintain a 13-point advantage over Goodale, who's now in 4th spot. LaJoie gets into the rear of McKennedy, turns McKennedy into the 7 of Blewett.
McKennedy is shown in the 13th position. Goodale is shown in the 4th spot.
Now we'll see if that changes before we get a green flag with just 5 laps to go here. Pit lane is closed, and I can't imagine that McKennedy is going to make a pit stop. And boy, you hit the nail on the head. McKennedy had the race exactly the way he wanted. It was drama-free. And here comes a driver with a very fast race car who led a pile of laps early, trying to get back to the front after 2 pit stops for tires and fuel. And now we see the points leader back in 13th. Unbelievable developments here as there are 5 laps remaining. But you can see that the left front of McKennedy is not in the position that suspension needs to be. There is damage up to the left front, but as long as the tires stay inflated. So the question becomes, with a modified belly pan riding across the front of a Hoosier racing slick, does it maintain air for another 5 laps? And who knows if maybe one of the rear tires may have been hit. If a bead was broken by one of the Nerf bars of another car, it could be losing air. The Nerf bar damage is not going to be a problem for the 79, but he is pulling up.
We've got 17 cars, Mike, on the lead lap.
17 lead lap, and it's a 13-point gap coming into tonight between the 58 of Goodale and the 79 of McKennedy. So there is your race leader, LaJoie, who made the contact that triggered that incident. Then Hirschman in second in the 60 car. Hirschman doing a great job of getting through it, as did Goodale. Ryan Newman restarts 3rd. Of course, he's capable of winning anytime he gets in a modified. We mentioned his high winning percentage in only a handful of starts on this tour. But Goodale in the 58, the red and white car that will line up outside of row 2 for the restart, may be in command of the points chase based on how this shakes out. If McKennedy's car is not able to complete these final 3 laps, or if he falls further back in the field, Eric Goodale is trying to do the quickest math that he's done in his life behind the wheel of the 58 car. If he can gain 1 or 2 more positions, we're going to have to wait for the NASCAR officials to bang out the adding machines and stare at receipts before we can call a title champion tonight.